Here we go. I've kind of held off on this one. In the title there, I said, unfortunately, a Spare Rations review. That's for a multitude of reasons, and to understand where we are now, we need to take a look back. The year's 2019, Joker's Wild has come out, Gambit Prime is there, the Reckoning Bridge, all for the chance for the best hand cannon in the game for the Crucible. The lightweight 150 RPM Spare Rations. It was brutal, comically strong, had all the right things, and then it was taken away in sunset. And before we get into it, a shout out to an awesome sponsor of today's video, War Thunder.
The most comprehensive vehicle combat game ever made, War Thunder contains over 2,000 playable tanks, aircraft, and ships spanning over 100 years of development. It's got great graphics and 4K detail, a great soundtrack, and dynamic PvP gameplay. One of the coolest aspects of this game is that there's no general hit points. Instead, vehicles suffer actual damage to their components and crew. A damage X-ray shows exactly what happened to you or the enemy vehicle as it's damaged or destroyed. And because every vehicle is modeled down to its individual components, each engagement's different. You can play free now on PC, Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 5, or the previous console generation. Use my link down below at the top of the description to download War Thunder today and get a large free bonus pack that includes multiple premium vehicles, boosters, and more. And thanks again to War Thunder for sponsoring today's video.
Spare Rations 2.0 has been dragged up and down. Good and bad things have been said, so today I want to figure it out, no bias, just kind of show what Spare 2.0 is all about right now and into the future. I'm going to be a little bit rough on it for the most part. There's no getting around that. There is a good hand cannon here, and for it to be good, you have to land. And aside from that, there's only really one thing that can save it. First of all, I have no idea why it shipped the way that it did. Feels like a bad move for the community, nostalgia factor, and just a flat out bad move on Bungie's part. They shipped it with its old stats, and its old stats are from a lightweight frame, coupled with the fact that they didn't give it a lightweight frame. It's coming back as a 140, and that means Rose is still very unique. It keeps those inherent things that they had, which is weird because every single hand cannon, every single weapon for that matter, that has fallen behind, that was sunset, they have made right, they updated it, but not Spare Rations. It comes with a painful 36 range, and to really breathe that in, there's like over 20 140 RPM hand cannons. 36 range is the lowest range, tied with the Iron Banner's finite impactor. Since it has the soul of a 150, it has slightly higher than normal stability, but the main draw is it has higher than normal handling and aim assist, and I get it. All of you out there I see using Spare Rations, it's because of this. Good stability, very high aim assist, very high handling. Aim assist is at 83, handling is at 71, and that crushes everything. All of them, all the 140s. It has 24 more than Austringer, 11 more than Rose. That's really the deciding factor. High aim assist, high handling. But in today's sandbox, that isn't enough. The role that I have is Hammer Forged Rifling, Light Mag, Range Masterwork, Slide Shot, Opening Shot. I can't tell you how key it is to have all range everything. You need to land a Range Masterwork, you need to land Range Barrel. Light Mag does give 5 range. 61 range. Slide Shot, you knee slide, get some ammo back, plus 20 range, plus 30 stability on one bullet. Opening Shot, plus 20 aim assist, plus 25 range. You get accuracy, cone size, and growth. Once you shoot, 3 seconds go by, you can do it again. So that one magical bullet is 100 range. And on this particular Spare Rations, it is 100 range, 77 stability, 100 aim assist. Like, that's cool. But this comes up all the time. This range right here, I think we would all agree is the mid-range. I cannot tell you how many times I have hit 70, and then the true range stat takes over. In the 60s, in the 50s, and you can't 3-tap. Ace of Spades would have 3-tapped right here. My Exalted Truth would have 3-tapped without Rangefinder. A whole bunch of hand cannons would. And this is the main issue. So this is with 61 range. Imagine if it had that 37 or 45. So before I really start dumping on this thing, because I am, if you do land at least 61 range, it's going to be about as best as you can be. And honestly, this particular setup, I wouldn't even take. It is one bullet. It's going to take 3 to get a TTK. And since you're out of range, most of the time it's going to be 4 to 5. But in this current sandbox with pulse rifles, with healing rifts, I see a whole bunch of players running around with Centrifuge, and they have on the artifact mod where they take DR. It does like 63. You can't even 3-tap. And I found multiple weapons. It feels like every single thing that I go up against. That's why I did that thumbnail. It's like RPS. And when I say that, rock, paper, scissors. It's like you're a pair of scissors at a rock concert. Like, yeah, you could be there, but everything pretty much beats you. And sure, every now and again, paper's gonna show up. You're gonna get it down, but I can't tell you how many times, it's every game. I get into a duel and there's a Grav Lance on the other end, a Messenger, an Exalted Truth, and it takes 4 or more bullets to take them out because of the range. It is that bad. So the saving thing for Spare Rations, it has high handling, it has high aim assist. You could close one eye, put it in their general direction, and this thing hits face. Very sticky hand cannon, but the game has outgrown it. It has. There's no getting around that. If you try to get within your range, it's going to do good. As you've seen, it feels so good in range. But a lot of players are staying back. A lot of players are in a rift. They have an overshield, or they're rushing with Antaeus wards, Immortal, just gunning you. So with it having 61 range, that's about where you want to be. When range does get normalized, we need to know how they're going to apply the range band to 140s. Because let's say a 100 range 140 goes up to 36 meters, but maybe a 0 range 140 goes up to 33. So that means there's only about 3 range that can be gained going up the stat bar, or it could be wide. Maybe 0 range hits at 30 meters, 100 range hits at 36. But once range is normalized and these things are kind of packed together, it should be okay. It really should. So if you do have a good roll, I would keep it. But even then, I have a 60 range Austringer with 97 stability that's Zen Moment Eye of the Storm. I will be using it over spare rations. And who knows what other hand cannons are going to come out. We still have Palindrome. There's Rose, Exalted Truth, all the 120s, Loud Lullaby. Like, the thing just gets beat continuously. And that's what really sucks. Worth noting, before I forget, it's got 100 recoil direction out of the gate. That's worth mentioning. That's a good thing. But Bungie really ties your hand because there's very specific things that you need, one being range. And honestly, I think that there are 3 combinations to go for. One of them is this novelty slide opening shot because you're still getting ammo in the magazine, but you can reactivate slide shot faster than opening shot. So you're going to get that range and stability on it. Otherwise, probably just going to be moving target opening shot. Plus 10 aim assist. Gets it to 93, you put on target, so you'll be at 100 aim assist with opening shot. So the first shot's always going to be a 100. You're going to keep it, but have accuracy. Rapid hit opening shot's going to do well, or rapid hit kill clip. And it's funny that we're talking about kill clip. It's going to bring the headshot damage to 87. You can 1 crit, 2 body. Massive ease of use. There's things like slide Focus Fury, but here's the deal. I was using a Focus Fury one. It was rapid hit Focus Fury. Just with, again, how everyone's playing, the sandbox, its range, I would get Focus Fury to proc. And then I'd like get into a duel and I would just get absolutely picked off by a Grav Lance, or a sniper would shoot through flinch. It's like you do all this work, 9 out of 10 times they're definitely out of range for this thing, and they just hard counter you with something. Absolutely hated it. But I'm not going to completely say that this thing's bad because it's technically not. This hand cannon was dominant 4 years ago. Absolutely dominant, solid everywhere. But the game has moved on and it's showing its age. But even with it showing its age, that 83 aim assist, 71 handling, 47 stability still does shine. So it's going to take the normalization of that mid-range for this thing to do better. But even then, I think it might fall just a little bit short. Which brings me to the best thing about this hand cannon, kinetic tremors. Yeah, I said it. It's the only hand cannon with kinetic tremors, and I use it quite a bit. 1840 lost sectors. It's got Unstoppable. Being the only hand cannon with kinetic tremors, you can stun them, then kinetic tremor them, just kind of chill back, do your thing. So once I started playing with it in PvP, seeing what it's doing there, losing most of the time, not by my fault, it just gets outgunned, rock, paper, scissors. Going into PvE, I was like, you know what? Oddly enough, this is where this thing should be used right now. It's actually pretty nice. As far as barrel and mag, you want the range up. It's going to be ricochet or high cal. If not, light mag like I have, because it still does give that +5 range. You want a range masterwork. If not, handling or stability works because you're upping some strength. At the core of it, so many hand cannons are better. And like straight up, never would I believed 4 years ago that Nation of Beasts is a better hand cannon than Spare Rations. I would never say that, but right now it is. Because when you craft Nation of Beasts, you could have Hammerforged Rifling, Accurized Rounds, Enhanced Keep Away, which is +15, not +10, and then something like Explosive Payload or Kill Clip. And that doesn't need slide, that doesn't need opening shot, it's just 85 range with EP on the other end or Kill Clip. Or Golden Tricorn. So yeah, I never would have said that, but that's kind of the truth right now. And Nation has Explosive Pact. This weapon gains bonus stability and reload when activating a grenade ability. Spare Rations has Disaster Plan. Picking up ammunition increases this weapon's flinch resistance and range, which lasts until it's fired again. And like the buff disappears a little over a second after firing, so it's there, but it is not enough to take this thing where it needs to be. It's an absolute shame that this weapon shipped like this, and for all the fans of Spare Rations, I feel for you. I've always liked this gun. But this is not it. I cannot believe that it shipped with 36 range. I cannot believe it didn't have anything done to the frame. It just got flipped into a 140, and they really tied your hands with the perks because you need things on it. There's no real, you could try this roll or that roll. It has to be very specific, and then it costs materials to get. So unfortunately, we had to talk about it. I would keep it until range is normalized. We'll revisit it in the future. And a reminder, use my link in the description to download War Thunder today and get a large free bonus pack that includes multiple premium vehicles, boosters, and more. I would absolutely love to hear your thoughts on spare rations. Let it all out. Don't hold anything back. Let's talk about it. Thank you for watching, and until the next one, I'm CoolGuy.